Hello, this is Amelia from Cangzhou zhongtuo cold rolling forming machinery. Our factory belongs to the country-level technological innovation enterprises. We have held a lot of patents for this metal rolling forming machines. In the following part, I plan to introduce one new design production line which have got a lot of patents, which applies as the rolling forming machine area. Normally speaking, this kind of PPGI in the market has been widely used as the cost is lower and easy for installation. It's widely used in the residential housing, roofing, and industrial working shop building. But this kind of, as a development, this kind of normal PPGI roofing sheets has exposed a lot of disadvantage. For example, after a long time using, the surface of the color will be decayed, not so fresh, and especially when the metal roofing sheet using in some chemical area, the surface of the coil will be go rusting. And for example, in the rain time, when the rain drop on the surface of the coil, there are a lot of noise. And when the hot weather and using this kind of PPGI, the room temperature go crazy high, and in the cold time it will go extremely lower temperature. But this way, we have together with a lot of university and research center developed a kind of new material. This kind of new material. This kind of new material has the following features. For example, the surface of the color will keep fresh for 20 years. Meanwhile, we will give 20 years warranty. And also, inner part, we put the PE foam. It can have the very good effect of the keep warm and absorb the noise and kill the noise, especially the rain. And also, it has a very good effect of reflect the sunshine and the astronaut violet. By this way, it can make the room temperature warm in the cold weather, and in the hot time, it can make the room reduce temperature around 5 to 8 degrees. This kind of coil exposed around 8 layers. Those 8 layers is by heating together, there's no glue, but this way is totally environmental friendly. So this kind of new material could be used in the following factory and the residential building, like the chemical factory, like the warehouse building, and a lot of such as factories. And actually in the market, there's also lots of such material has been applied in the market, but as a rolling forming machine technology is not so professional, we will see in the market it's common to see such kind of roofing sheet. During the rolling forming, the technology is a little bit different, like the traditional rolling forming. But this way, after rolling forming, this kind of sheet will go bent and curved. It will cause a lot of troubles for installation. In order to solve this problem, together with a lot of research center of rolling forming machines and lots of university, we try to design a production line either could be used for producing normal PPGI coil and this new type materials. In the following part, I will introduce the production line one by one and try to show some kind of new technology and pattern we have been applied on this production line. The new production line, same like other rolling forming machines, is composed by the following elements: decoiler, main rolling forming machine, and the stackers. But different with the traditional decoiler, this one we design used hydraulic decoiler with the up-bender. Up-bender function added based on the reasons. For example, the newly filmed coil, the thickness reached to 4 millimeters. And with the package, we have to do the virtual package. So we have to use this kind of up-bender to change the direction of the package coil. And by this way, we can make sure the one workers can do the coil loading easily. For example, when they get the coil virtual package with the wooden bottom package, use a crane, and by the crane, the workers can directly put the coil as the loading car, and then use the up bending function. You can change the direction of the coil and make sure the center of the coil to the shaft easily. Meanwhile, this loading car also equipped with the function of normal loading car. We put the loading car together with the main rolling forming machines, and by this way it can fulfill the function of the coil car up and down. By this way, the coil can to the head of the center of the shaft, and then it can also move forward and backward. By those functions, it can realize the coil loading and unloading easily. As to this is the back and forward function of the loading car. And now, in order to make the loading coil more easily, we also add another pattern, as one kind of servo motor at the back of the coiler to fulfill the web alignment function. Web alignment means to make sure the coil center exactly to the center of the rolling forming machine. Normally speaking, when the coil has been loaded to the shaft, but you found that the coiler not center to center to the rolling forming machine, you have to use a crane to move the decoiler or move the rolling forming. By this way, it will waste a lot of time. Web alignment can fulfill the function to the alignment fully automatically, and then you can make sure the center to center of the coil main rolling forming machine. And also with the sensor of the decoiler, it can make sure the decoiler releasing coil speed same like the main rolling forming machine. That will not cause the phenomena that a lot of coil stuck at the ground and do the damage surface destroy. And then to the main rolling forming part. Same like other rolling forming machines. This is a leveling bench and equipped with a manual cutter. With the manual cutter, you can remove the untidy part of the start or end, or you can cut at any part. And the different other rolling forming machines, the leveling part we use a stainless bar and equipped also with a bearing inside. By this way, when the coil goes into the main rolling forming machine, the whole process will be quite smooth and there's no kind of scratch of the surface of the coil. As to the leveling part, we also equip with handrail. This way you can adjust the input coil width a little bit according to the real situation. And then comes to the main body building of the roofing sheet rolling forming machine. It's obviously to see that the main shaft and the rollers much more bigger than the normal rolling forming machine. The reason why, when the material thickness of the newly filmed, it will reach to 4 millimeters thick. So the shafts and the roller should be very strong. And the whole rolling forming machine we designed uses the 22 roller stations and use a separate molding rolling process to make sure each roller station is only be responsible for the one way of shaping at the very beginning, and then the process gradually to the end. And each roller station be only responsible for one wheel. By this way, during the rolling forming, there's no scratch of each wheel, and to protect the surface of the coil a little bit more. And then gradually to the 4th or 10 roller station, the rollers will be gradually more and more to fix the shape. And to some kind of rollers, we put the bearing inside. The bearing inside design for the following reasons. The first reason, as the thickness of the material goes thicker, the bottom and the bottom head and the bottom of the profile doing the rolling at the same time, there will be some kind of reaction power produced during the rolling forming. Reaction power caused by the coil and the roller rolling forming. During the reaction power, both react, it will damage the surface of the coil, and also it will make the shaft both and nuts connection loose. By the bearing inside, we can make sure the surface of the roller and bottom have the same working speed and solve the problem of the reaction power caused some kind of damage. As to the connection bar, we use this kind of very strong tab. On one hand, it can make sure the machine main body more strong during the high-speed rolling forming, and also it looks more beautiful. Now we come to the last 10 roller station. You can see there's rollers more and more. We try to use the whole molding system. On one hand, we can fix the shape a little bit more and more. Now you can see actually a lot of wheels has been rolling formed. But this way, we try to fix the shape and solve the problem of curve. And especially to the last 4 roller stations, you can check the whole mold. It's much more bigger than the normal rollers. This design idea from some kind of rolling forming research together with the university and also belong to our patent. We designed the rollers with a kind of some anti-arch roller design to try to balance the power produced during the rolling forming. It can make sure both the normal PPGI coil and the filmed thick PPGI coil both have the very perfect effect of the rolling forming. And as to this part, in order to make sure the installation extremely easily, we weld the frame on the surface of the machine and put the hydraulic station at the top. That means we have connected all the hydraulic station, hydraulic pipe together with the machine. When the machine arrives to your factory, simple connect the main electricity, then okay. I think all the installation could be finished within 10 minutes. That's really fulfill the function, and what we have confirmed that easy to installation ideas. Now to the sharing part. Sharing part design, compared with the normal design, we use a strong cut holder. The cutting blade and the holder frame, we use the embed tab. We also call it implant tab. That means the cutter has been embedded into the cutting holders. But this way, it will give the power to the holder, not only at the blade. If you have the experience of using the metal rolling forming machines, you will find that the cutting blade is the most easily spare parts and easy to break. But this kind of design, it can protect the cutting blade to use more than 5 or 10 years, and there's no problem. And also as to the design of the pillars, is 4 pillars. It's not only for beautiful appearance, but also for the more strong and more steady when working. As to this supporting bar, normally when the coil comes out, when the sheet comes out to the stacker, it has some distance. It will drop to the bottom. But with the kind of supporter, it can convey the coil, the sheet to the stacker a little bit more longer, and by this way it will not drop to the ground suddenly. And the last part is the stacker. By the stacker, you can also choose to use the manual decoiler, but the stacker can help you to fulfill the automatically running function of the production line. Normally, 1 worker or 2 maximum to solve the problem of the production. 1 worker can hold the whole production line. This stacker, you can choose 2 types, like 6 meters long or 12 meters long, according to your factory real production of the sheets. And the stacker, it can convey the sheets to the to this part and do the package and convey fully automatically. Different with stacker of other design, we add 1 more up and down benders. We call this one as the up and down stackers. You know, the normal PPGI is okay, but for the filmed PPGI, it's more thick. That means we have to design the height of the stacker more height to store more sheet, or else you have to change withdraw the sheet frequently. But by this way, if the shade drop to the ground directly by this kind of height, it will, in some kind of degree, to damage the surface of the coil. But this up and down stackers, it can up to the extremely heights when the first shade come out. Along with the shades more and more, the weight will be increased. And by this way, the stacker up and down type will down to the bottom. Once down to the extremely down, then you can take all the shades out out for further package. And then now we can come to the production effect of the shade. All the shades will be packaged orderly here. By this one, you can do the package and load to the car, to the truck for further selling. And no need to do the further filming and a lot of things. All the shades are orderly and flight, and all the shades we can give you 20 years warranty. This is the whole production line introduction. And for more and further questions, welcome to contact us at any time.